Main event, Charles wearing the belt that isn't his because he missed weight by 0.5 of a pound. You know, given all of the controversy we've seen in the past over weight, surely there's a way around that. They could have kept the belt on him. I don't know, man. It just seemed a bit fucking over the top to me. I get it. It's champ shit and, you know, you've got to hold yourself to the highest standard, but like, why didn't he just shave his hair? Surely that's a half a pound. Coming into the fight, I thought Oliveira was going to win, although when he missed weight, I thought maybe he's going to be drained. This might hurt him, actually. But Gaethje, mentally, I just don't think he's got what it takes to be a champion. Like, when you've seen him against Khabib, I thought he could have beaten Khabib. Skill set wise, he's got a lot going for him and he threw everything at Khabib. But Khabib had that champ mentality and he didn't, and it was so obvious. And from that moment on, I've just never thought he would achieve it. So, and Oliveira definitely has it.
Yeah, his right leg is wobbling already. Oh, he hurt again.
Justin said, if I'm going backwards in this fight, it's not going my way. And that's exactly what happened. But he did hurt him. It feels like Charles, he almost deliberately drops when he's in pain because he thinks, I can lay down. People aren't going to jump into my guard. I can recover. Like in boxing, he gets himself like a 10-second rest here because no one wants to go to the ground with him. Oof, them knees. He uses his limbs so well. It reminds us of like a younger John Jones.
Oh my goodness.
He literally just opted to drop there. He could have stayed up. That's a smart move, that.
Good clean right hand from the champion. Oh my goodness.
Fuck me. Talk about overcommitting. Look at this from Gaethje. The problem for Gaethje now is Khabib showing the blueprint of how to beat him is just put him on his back foot. Similar to like a Deontay Wilder. Just get him going backwards. Drain that gas tank.
Gaethje back to work on the leg kick. Landed a right hand.
Ooh, see, that was way worse than any punch Gaethje caught him with. Bang! Fucking get on.
He's got the locked in. It's over. Fully locked in. It's over.
Elbows under the chin. Oh my goodness. Switches up the grip.
He's going to go to sleep.
Oh my goodness. That is going to do it.
I mean, after all the shit Gaethje talked about how Charles was a quitter, he fucking taps out. He didn't even go to sleep. How'd you like them apples, Justin? Fair play. Charles Oliveira is the fucking truth. I love watching this guy fight. I think we all do. He's absolutely game as fuck. He comes forward. He's always looking for the finish. He can finish you on the feet or on the fucking ground. This is a proper entertaining fighter right here. I feel like Khabib was only in his ascendancy when he quit, but it's been like, Khabib who? Like, and that doesn't mean, that's going to piss some people off. That doesn't mean I don't rate Khabib. Khabib was one of the greatest, but we want a champion who's entertaining, and Charles Oliveira is far more entertaining to watch generally than Khabib. When we watch Khabib diving on McGregor's ankle from the first bell and just lying on him, hoping to like drain McGregor, Charles isn't going to do that. Do you know what I mean? That would be a totally different fight. And for all Khabib, you could argue, is better, Charles is far more exciting to watch, in my opinion anyway. Naturally, the comparisons are becoming more louder and louder as Charles Oliveira makes statement after statement. Khabib's record, a lot of people will never have anything other than Khabib as the GOAT. Khabib never lost a fight, which is very rare in MMA. I think John Jones is the only other fighter who I could say hasn't lost. I know there's a loss there, but not really a loss. And that for a lot of people is enough. You're the GOAT, end of story. But when you look at it, he defended the belt 3 times. Now, Oliveira, that would have been his second defense if it had counted, which, like, in reality, it fucking does. So he's on for a third defense, and ironically, that defense could come against a student of Khabib, a teammate of Khabib, who he now coaches in Islam Makhachev, and that would really give us a good idea because the skill sets are comparable. Khabib and Islam's are very similar, obviously. That may even be what drags Khabib out of fucking retirement because, you know, the more we talk about this, the more we bring Khabib back potentially. And I want to say it. I want to say it now. Fuck Islam Makhachev, no offense. I want to say Khabib versus Charles Oliveira now because there's a few things about Khabib's reign that I think won't serve him in the long term if we are to call him the GOAT or if people were to argue it. And calm down because he's a fantastic fighter. He's one of the greatest. That's not in question for me. But whenever you talk about GOATs, there's always things you can pull apart and there's always opinions, right? So let me have mine, you fucks. To only have 3 title defenses when other fighters out there have 13, 40, like umpteen more and have a reign of dominance. Like with each title defense, it becomes more likely that eventually you are going to lose because people are focusing on you, picking apart your game, studying you. And Khabib did not stick around that long. He didn't move up a weight class. BJ Penn did move up a weight class and fought GSP. BJ Penn wasn't even a big lightweight, let alone fighting at fucking welterweight. Now, a lot of people will be, well, he lost that fight. Well, he lost that. Yeah, but there should be some credit on your GOAT score for moving up and challenging one of the GOATs of welterweight. You know what I mean? Or GOATs of MMA full stop. With Charles Oliveira, when you look at who he's beaten recently, Gaethje, Poirier, Chandler, Ferguson, Kevin Lee, compare that to Khabib, Gaethje, Poirier, McGregor, Alaia-Quinta, Barboza. It's equal. If you were to say it to me, who were the best guys each of these fought, I'd say it's about the same. And if you were to look at the way they won them, they're comparable. Gaethje, 2 rounds for Khabib. It only took Oliveira 1. 3 rounds for Poirier. It took Oliveira 3 rounds as well, although a little bit quicker. McGregor is on Khabib's record. Alternatively, Chandler was on Oliveira's, comparable. So it's similar. And look, a lot of people will point to the losses of Oliveira, but how old is this kid? He was in the UFC for fucking years. He's 32. Khabib 33, so they're very similar in age, but the difference was, when everyone bangs on about the record of Khabib being elite, Khabib spent 8 years in the UFC. Charles, on the other hand, has spent over 12 years in the UFC and was in it from when he was 21 years old. So he was fighting Jim Miller, Donald Cerrone, who were in the prime of their career, Frankie Edgar, when he was learning. Whereas Khabib was fighting who you can't even name them. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Khabib had no losses early on, but he wasn't fighting who Charles Oliveira was fighting early on. I think some of those losses should be excused, and obviously he was fighting at a different weight class. He's now fighting at his right weight class. So for me, whenever you're talking about the GOAT, you should never really care too much about the losses. What should be the focus is how high did they get? How far up that fucking mountain did they get? Does it matter that Muhammad Ali has losses when the greatness that he displayed time and time again outshines any of that? What? So that when he was over the hill, he got beat. So what? Anderson Silva got beat plenty. Does that take anything away from the fucking peak of Anderson Silva, which in my opinion surpassed anything we've seen since or before in MMA? I think to criticize fighters who fight too long or whatever, yeah, well done, Khabib retired in his prime, but in doing so, he left the door wide open for people to surpass what he did when he only got 3 title defenses. For me, there's an opportunity there, and it's not happened yet, for Charles Oliveira to overtake Khabib in terms of the way people think of him. All of you lot out there can have your own opinion on Khabib and how great he was. I agree, one of the best lightweights ever. No doubt. But because of his own retirement, there's a real chance Oliveira could go down as the GOAT at lightweight. And I'm excited to watch it.